Hello everyone. How are you? Hope all is well with you all and you and your families are doing okay and are in the best of health. I want to wish you all prosperity, love, and good health onwards 2025 and beyond. Ensure to stay safe in all you do by keeping your guard up. Remember, you see a man's face, you don't see his heart. Now, I don't know what to make of this news, as Jamaican vlogger Cushane Carter, Watchcrissywork husband, more popular known as CMR, has had his criminal case of allegedly touching his stepdaughter, who is a minor, dismissed by the Orange County Sheriff Department in Florida's court. CMR, who is 35-year-old, was arrested on November the 2nd, 2024 by the Apoko Police Department on charges of lewd and lascivious molestation involving an underage female. He was detained and released on November the 4th on a $7,500 US bond. Well, based on now public records, the charges were dismissed on December the 30th, 2024, as investigations determined the evidence presented did not warrant prosecution. Remember, I told you guys that there was a letter submitted to the judge right after his arrest, and it was a smell of Chrissy all over it, the mother of the victim and wife of the accused, as this is not the first time she has gotten involved in court proceedings involving her husband, as she did retract a letter to the judge after he allegedly got arrested for domestic violence. So it's not far-fetched, this allegation she may have done this again by submitting letter to the judge. As in this case, the judge did receive letter after the court appearance of CMR. My thing is, I see people chomping around for CMR, escaping the court's justice system. But where is the justice for Jay? Is it been pouted she is a liar to the judge? Or is it been pouted she misunderstood the situation? However blatant and brawling she explained it in all the graphic gory details. Just bear in mind, she gave full description of what was done to her by CMR in her own words, as reported by the Orange County Justice Department. There is even allegation that he said it was not his stepdaughter it was done to, it was to the stepdaughter's friend that had stayed over at the house. Even though we know that was thrown out there to throw off from the fact that it was a stepdaughter at the time, as it was eventually exposed by investigation of the police in Orange County that it was indeed the stepdaughter who lives with CMR and Chrissy. I don't care what anyone says, that description that child gave is very worrisome, and I however do not take that lightly, because unless that child has a mental problem, there's no way she could have given all that information out there on a whim. And remember, she complained at school to her guidance counselor, not complaining to make anything seriously happen to CMR, but she complained in order to get somebody to get him to stop doing these things to her that cannot be shoved under the carpet or taken lightly. However, not because he never actually jumped the fence and entered the gate, doesn't mean this was a testing period to see how much she would have taken. So what happens now? CMR moved back home like one big happy family? What about the child mental health, which supposed to be rigged with confusion right now? Because she knows what happened and CMR knows the truth. All I have to say is that we better pray and hope life don't get in the way and more serious acts don't happen in that home. Because after such a description by the child made public, CMR being arrested, and if they're going to live back in the same house, they're only human. There is no counseling on this earth that is going to take away the tension on both sides, be it the child or CMR. You know what I find so amazing, but not surprising, because based on the toxic level of our people, is that so much people totally dismiss the descriptive accusation that was given to the police by the child that absolutely had no reason to lie. So for me, if there's any wave in the child's original statement, that's the work of the mother. And you know what? I was always worried knowing that the child would be back home and the mother would be there talking, and of course should be stressing the situation and so on. How the child is going to feel guilty for basically separating the family when it is not her own doing. It is CMR's actions that caused all this. This child didn't just get up and say these things just for fun. So, any changes at all in the statements accusing CMR, you got to know it's the mother at work here. So let me understand this, Chrissy. You're going to feel like a queen laying down in bed with CMR again? You're going to feel good leaving him at home with all four girls? Or if he takes them all out, you're going to have peace of mind knowing that they are 100% okay in their going and coming? Or this child is going to feel uncomfortable in her own home, and every move you make, Chrissy, you're going to make sure you're going to tag Jay along with you? How are you going to do this, Chrissy? Just bear in mind, for the dumb ones at the back, the dismissal of this case does not mean that CMR is innocent, It's just that the original strength of the case or changes in the argument could warrant the fact that they are not really pushing for justice. So now, are relatives and friends going to feel comfortable with their young ones staying over at Chris's home if the parents are not there? The thing is, if this is not handled with caution, there could be devastating effects. You see, the amount of Jamaican families involved in the news where domestic inconsistencies turn fatal and a whole family is wiped out. Listen, man, reality is reality. And unless you're under a rock, there is so much things that can happen within a family. And what end up happening is that we're seeing it played out in the news. Because a lot of these domestic situations never did just drop out of the sky and happen. It's been festering and things been happening and things been hiding under the carpet until when it break out into devastating situations. Who can pray? Pray for the family. You understand? But it's not going to take away from the fact of what is going on in society. But you don't know, Jamaicans have a tendency to solve everything with violence. Because no matter how people come on social media and put on all big smiles and all seem happily and all playing fake lives for you all to look at, behind the curtains, they are human beings. And Mena ask Christ, this will be having devastating effects on little J. My advice would be CMR, continue to live where you're at so the child that is underage can continue to live a normal teenage life. See, you get off it, just go and live your life because you don't know the truth already. And apart from embarrassment, which you are regular caught up in, you still have your fans, you still can live your life, you still can do what you need to do. But the two in one space is not a good idea in my book. Because already knowing the fact that there was no justice done and the child will still have all this on her to deal with, whether consciously or subconsciously, it will be on her. Yeah? She will have to live with this situation. But at least if CMR is not living in the house, the threat won't be in her face daily. And for the dunce people at the back, all this came about is not because of anyone bad-minding CMR and Chrissy. Nobody no hate CMR or Chrissy. Nobody no obey CMR and Chrissy. It comes from the actions of CMR and his stepdaughter's allegation. When she could take it no more, she brought it to school, and it's the school that called the police. Then the police take it into action. So anybody that is to blame, keep it in the circle where the blame is. Because the Orange County Police put out their report, because nothing is secret in the US once you're arrested, and people is going to respond to the report. Nobody never pull this out of one hat and blame CMR for anything. This is his own actions, and it's time people start making people be responsible for their own actions. You understand? And that is the problem that we're having in society, especially among Jamaicans. People find so much excuses for the actions of our men. It's always somebody else's fault or some other reason why some action they did themselves is somebody else's fault. You need to let them understand that your actions cause all this reaction. One thing I know that is blatantly clear to see is why the child took it to school. Because seemingly telling Mommy Chrissy would not have been good enough. And even then, she never wanted CMR to get arrested. She only wanted someone to tell him to stop doing what he was doing. So I guess just maybe because he never entered the gate of J, it was seemingly easier to manipulate reasons for his actions. But I want to say, woe unto the mothers that failed their children, especially in some cases, them girl children for man. These things are happening to boys too, you know. You understand? And I could say woe unto the mothers that basically sell out them children, whether for fame or fortune, or just for man, or just to prove something to society that you cause on your own self. And as for the enablers that think it's okay because it's their friends and family and their celebrity crush, just remember there is a victim involved, and ask CMR if it was someone else that did these same actions that his daughter described, what would have been the outcome? Would he have just chilled and say, yeah man, it's okay? Or would he have taken action? Prayers up for the victim. Chrissy, you're a disappointment. You will pay, you and CMR, because obviously your daughter's feeling and well-being was that good enough. We're going to watch and see if you are going camaraderie in one house again. Let me see how smart you are, because even if you submit a letter that says whatever to change the outcome of the court case, but you make some arrangements, you CMR do not come in the house, I will still give the side eye, but I will say you sell out your child. But if CMR come back, come living at the house as everything one big happy hunky-dory family, me tell you say, your day going come. You see, karma have a way of making you fall to your knees. Remember me tell you so. And you better pray. Pray and hope. Not prayer just to show to the public how much you're godly. Real prayers with real actions. Yeah? Because people have a way of just doing everything for the gram, for likes. And to let people think that they are something else when they are not. Anyway, prayers up for the victim, guys. Anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.